New Year! Long time no see, friends. Oh, I'm so happy to be here making a new video for you. I know that I have kind of been MIA for a few months, but with good reason. Life happens, and I just haven't had that time to make the quality content for you, and I don't want to give you a subpar video just for the sake of giving you a video. So I apologize for the break, but I am here today with a very exciting video for you because I have another milestone. I have just passed 5 years no contact. And it actually just sounds so crazy to say that because 5 years ago, I was a completely different person. I could not have seen 5 years in the future. And it's such a big amount of time, but at the same time, it's a small amount of time. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Amy, and this is Narcaway. My channel is dedicated to educating, supporting, and encouraging victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse. If you've been here before, welcome back, and thanks for staying a subscriber, even though I haven't been delivering for you lately. I hope you can always go back and rewatch some of my old videos, and I hope that they'll still always help you and encourage you and give you that support that I want to provide for you as you recover and leave abusive and emotionally abusive relationships. So, with all of that being said, I recently passed this significant milestone. And I have made videos for each year of no contact that I have passed. And each one comes with different rewards, some challenges, and most of all, reflection. I think you can look back and quantify your healing when you put a time to it. And let me just start by saying there is absolutely no timeline. Everybody's healing journey is going to look different. It's going to take different amounts of time. There are going to be different hurdles, but one thing that we'll all have are ups and downs. Healing is not linear. You're not just going to leave and take off and be okay. You're gonna have setbacks, you're gonna have breakdowns, you might end up even going back to your abuser at some point and trying again. You might believe the bill of goods they're selling you, which is that they have changed, they're a different person, it's going to be different this time, and surely you have learned, and if not yet, you will learn that that's just not true. That doesn't happen. They don't change. They can pretend to change for a little while, they can play nice, they can put on a good show, they can walk the walk, but when it comes right down to it, when they are tested, they will show their true colors as always. And so you'll be set back having to leave that relationship again and begin your healing process all over again. And that's okay. That happens to most of us. I know it happened to me. I know it's happened to many, many people. It's very rare that somebody leaves an abusive relationship and just walks away free and clear without ever getting sucked back in, without being hoovered and re-love bombed and whatnot. So if you have left and you have had that significant time away from that abusive person, that person that has, caused you just enormous amounts of confusion, pain, apathy, the things that they cannot give you from a normal loving relationship. When you have created that distance between that person, you can start to rebuild that for yourself. You don't have to look to someone else to provide that for you and to you, which is what you do when you're with a narcissist. they count on being the one to deliver peace to you. And they do that by taking it away. So they can give you peace, they can also take it away by throwing their temper tantrums and their usual bad behavior. But when you go no contact and you create distance between yourself and the abuser, you will start to find peace again. Real peace, real calm, and just a sense of normalcy. You just get back on your feet. You don't have to walk on eggshells anymore. And life just becomes a whole lot easier. And that's what I have found now that I am 5 years no contact. And if you are new to my channel and you don't know my background, I left my partner, who I was with for 10 years, back in December of 2017. That was after multiple attempts to leave. We had multiple breakups in that 10 years. We had gone periods of time without talking, breaks, breakups, silent treatment, whatever you want to call them. But I always ended up going back to him. He always sucked me back in. I was never strong enough to leave and stay gone. So I was sucked into that cycle. I didn't know that my partner was a narcissist. I didn't have words for it at the time when I was in that relationship. But in December of 2017, I had had enough. There was a big blow up and it was kind of repetitive. It wasn't the first time that something like that had happened, but I knew I was fed up. I knew I didn't want to begin 2018 with that same cycle that I had been living for 10 years. I was no longer in love with him. I didn't realize that at the time. Only again, looking back, I could see now that the love was already gone. You can't love somebody, you can't truly love somebody who treats you so horribly. You think you do because you're trauma bonded and you're codependent. So you believe those feelings and that attachment you have is love, is genuine love, but it's not. And only after you leave that relationship and you start analyzing it, you start being very honest with yourself, you accept that you were codependent, then you can start accepting, reflecting, and seeing what your part in that was. And let me make it very clear, I am not victim blaming it here at all. I would never ever do that. I don't blame myself. I don't blame anyone else for being in an abusive relationship, and I do not blame them for not leaving. I would never. But with that being said, there are some characteristics that people that get stuck in abusive relationships share and have, and that can be past trauma that leads you to be codependent in that relationship. It could even just be from the abuser you're with. They could turn you into a codependent person, which you may have never been before. But you have to accept that there were some areas that you were not able to keep and enforce your own strong boundaries to keep the narcissistic or abusive person away from you. Once you recognize that, that's what sets you free, and that's what will allow you to move on in the future, in future relationships. If you don't learn that, if you don't accept that, if you don't understand why you fell into this relationship and got stuck in this relationship in the first place, then you're doomed to relive it in your next relationship. You will be an easy target for the next abuser. They will see that weakness in you and they will exploit it and use you, and you will begin the cycle again with someone else. So it's very important, and this is why it's so important that you take the time to heal after you've left an abusive relationship. Do not jump immediately into another relationship. You are not ready. You are not able. You are not capable unless you fall into the hands of a God-sent angel who will fix you and help you and will not exploit or take advantage of your brokenness. You know, you're treading in dangerous territory by jumping into something you're not ready to do. So take the time. And again, I can't put a time frame on that. I don't know what that is for you. I don't know how long your relationship was. I don't know how abusive it was. I don't know if there was a physical component to it. There's a lot of different aspects that are going to come into play, and you have to figure that out for yourself. And there is so much out there nowadays on narcissistic abuse. Like, I can tell you, just 5 years ago when I left my partner, I had no idea. And I was looking for answers because I was so confused in that relationship that I was constantly asking my friends, like, what is wrong with him? Why does he give me the silent treatment? Why does he run hot and cold on me? Why does he love me one minute and hate me the next minute? And nobody had answers. And I think now, if you were to ask somebody those questions, somebody in your group of friends is going to know and recognize those signs and say, that is emotional abuse. That is a narcissistically abusive relationship. That is a narcissist. Somebody who does that, somebody who is playing with your emotions for their own gain. They don't care about your emotions. They don't care about how you feel. Everything they do is for them. It's to boost their ego. It's to make them happier. It's to feed them and supply them with attention and love and sex and money, place to stay. Like, these people have no limits when it comes to taking from other people to feed themselves. So, I digress. I just want to get to the point of 5 years on what that looks like for me. I can't tell you what that's going to look like for you. I can't speak for anyone else. I can only share my own personal journey with you, and that's what I do, and that's the point of this channel. I speak from the heart. I give you some advice that I've learned, things that I share things that I've learned along the way. And I just want to tell you that 5 years out, it's going to be such a distant memory for you that it just does not factor into your daily life anymore, which is kind of outstanding because 5 years ago today, I was a mess. Even 4 years ago today, I was still in the throes of healing. I was still watching YouTube videos for hours and hours a day, trying to understand narcissism, trying to figure out how I heal from this relationship, trying to move on and pick up the pieces and deal with my new normal and my life after being so confused. I had to straighten out a lot of things in my head. And I spent those years doing that, and I did the work. And then I felt that I was in a place to begin dating again. And eventually I did. I started dating again. And then I met somebody, and I have a loving partner now. We've been together for 2 years already, which is also hard for me to believe. But, you know, time kind of flies when you're having fun. When you're in an unhappy, abusive relationship, time seems to sit still. You feel stuck. You can't do anything or go anywhere because you know there's going to be hell to pay. The narcissist is going to certainly make you pay the price in one way or another. But once you're free, you're free. You're free to do what you want. I don't have to ask permission. I don't have to tiptoe around. I don't have to be afraid of coming home or dealing with any of the blow-ups that would happen regularly with a narcissist. Once you're in a healthy, adult, communicative, respectful relationship, it just becomes a lot of fun. It becomes a lot of fun. It becomes very easy, and you're not going to have those same emotions that you did when you first left the narcissist. The anger is going to subside, and I think that's the most important thing, to be honest. I think it's very normal to be angry at first when you leave. I think holding on to that anger for a little while is okay as well, because that'll help you from going back to the narcissist. If you don't have a little bit of anger, you might be more easily swayed to go back to them. But if you just stay a little bit pissed off, then it helps to keep that wall very strong. But you can't hold on to it. You can't stay angry. If you stay angry, because the narcissist has already moved on. 5 years out, they're not thinking about you. So don't spend your time thinking about them. Focus on your new life. Heal. Reward yourself. And I think a lot of that will just happen automatically from going through the motions, from doing that healing work, from letting go. Some people have a hard time with the word forgive, and I understand that and I respect that. Not everybody can forgive, and that's okay. You don't have to forgive them. They did horrible things to you. I'm not going to tell you you have to forgive them, but you cannot hold on to that anger. You have to let the anger go. And as long as you do that, everything else is going to fall into place. So I think that's all I really have to say for this video. I'm going to get back to making more videos for you guys in the new year. That's one of my New Year's resolutions, is to share what I have learned, because a lot of the videos I made, I was still angry and I was still healing and I was still dealing with a lot of the emotion from my own personal experiences and betrayals and hurt. But now I'm kind of on a different plane, and I can give you different perspectives, and I can still offer you advice and suggestions and support. And actually, there is one thing I did want to add to the end of this, is it's normal to still think about your ex. I don't want you to think that you have to shut that person out of your life and you can never think about them again, or you can never talk about them again. Because whether that abusive or that relationship was abusive or not, that was still a relationship. That was still a part of your life. There's going to be things you're going to talk about. I'm sure there's other exes you talk about in a way that it's just like an incidental. Oh, I went here with this person at this time, or we did this, or I experienced this. Like, those are normal things, and it's okay to share those types of things with other people. You don't have to suppress everything. You don't have to pretend that that person never existed or that relationship never existed. You just have to understand how you're doing it and make sure you're doing it in a healthy way. You can't ruminate. 5 years on, I don't want you feeling sorry for yourself. I don't want you to be angry with your ex. I don't want you to go down that rabbit hole of victimhood. You're now a survivor. You have now moved on. You have the world at your feet. That person is a non-factor in your life. Yes, you have a past with them. Yes, you have shared experiences with them, but they are not a part of your current life. So they don't need to be on your mind 24/7. If they pop into your head once in a blue moon, that's totally normal. And you might even begin to have fond memories. You might start remembering the good times and forgetting somewhat, not completely. I don't think that's healthy to completely forget or write off the bad things that happened, but you're not living in that bad, negative world. You've brought it front forward. You're moving forward. You've got all sorts of things in your past, and that's totally normal, totally healthy, as you should. You're just not living back there. You can look back, be like, oh yeah, that's right, that happened. forward we go. So guys, I hope you liked this video. Please leave a comment below. Let me know if you liked it or not. Let me know where you're at in your no contact journey. Maybe you haven't left yet. Maybe you need some more targeted advice to your situation, which I would love to help you out with if I can. So drop a comment below. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Let me know if you have questions. I'll answer it the best I can. Maybe I'll do a Q&A video where you guys can all drop questions and I'll just answer them one at a time. Or if you want to see something different, let me know. I'm back, I'm here for you, and I just want to give you guys the content that you want to see. So I love you all. I will see you in the next video. Happy New Year.